Good morning, friends. Welcome in this class. This is class 7, subject social science, and it is the first chapter of history, tracing changes through thousands years. It is the fourth lecture of this chapter, and in today's lecture, the topics which are to be discussed are old and new religions and thinking about time and historical periods. So in these two new topics, first is old and new religions, in which we will discuss about the old religions which were presented or existed in the Indian society, and about the new religions which appeared during medieval period. And in second topic, thinking about time and historical periods, in this we will study about the division of the Indian history done by different historians. But before starting the today's discussion, first we will recapitulate our previous topics in brief. Yes, students, as we have studied that the differences occurred in the language and their meanings with the passage of time. So for that I give an example like Hindustan term. Yes, the Hindustan term, first it was used by the Minazi Shiraj, and he used these terms to describe the areas of Punjab, Haryana, and the areas lying between Ganga and Yamuna. Means he used this term for as a political identity. But if we talk about today, means today the Hindustan word is used for the whole nation, and the term which was used by the Minazi Shiraz means Hindustan, in which northeastern and southern parts were not included. But today Hindustan term is used for whole nation, whole India. The second word which I give you as example, foreigner. Yes, the word foreigner today mean that someone who is not an Indian, but in medieval period a foreigner was any stranger who was a part of the same village but not a part of particular society or culture. And we have the different sources which give us information about this time period like coins, inscription, architecture, textual records, manuscripts. These are there. And during this time period, beta, many changes occurred in society, in that you can say political and economic changes also occurred. Many new technologies also appeared during this time period like Persian wheel in irrigation, spinning wheel in weaving. Many new political groups like Rajput, Ahoms, Jats, Marathas, Sikh, Kayasth, they were also, you can say, appeared during this time period, and they were the prominent class of the people. This is there. And many new regions and empire also appeared. And during this time period, the years of history that we are discussing, in which means there occurred significant development in religious traditions also. So now in today's topic, we will discuss about the changes which occurred in religious traditions. Yes, old and new religions. Yes, friends, the thousands years of history means 700 to 1700. It witnessed a major developments in religious tradition. Old and new religion. Old means the religion which were already presented or existed, and in this the old religion was Hinduism. Yes, during this time period important changes occurred in Hinduism. Like Hinduism was the oldest one, and in this also many new changes occurred. And which were these changes? Actually, the follower of Hinduism, now they started to worship new deities. Means earlier the followers of the Hinduism, means the people, they worship the common natural, you can say, supreme natural power like God, sun, rain, river, and trees. But now this time, along with this natural supreme power, they started to worship new god and goddess, means new deities. This is there. And in this during this time period, Brahman had an important place in the society. They earned a lot of respect due to their knowledge of Sanskrit. Means Brahman were the only who had the knowledge of Sanskrit, and for that the common people dependent on Brahmins to perform many you can see rituals, sacrifices, and many other activities like yajnas. And for that they had to pay a lot of donation like money, and sometimes they gave them animals also like cow. These things were there, so that's why the Miss Brahman earned a lot of respect in the society. But with the passage of time, now people attracted to a new path of devotion, that was bhakti. It was a very simple path of devotion, and in which people, they didn't means no need to dependent on Brahman, and means they followed this path without the help of Brahmins, and there was no need to perform any rituals and sacrifices in this bhakti path, devotion path. This is there. And the new religions which appeared or introduced during this time period, that was Islam. As we know, beta, we are studying about the medieval period, and it is the time period when Muslim ruler controlled our India. This is there. So when the Muslim arrived in India, came in India, so along with them, means they brought their religions also, and that was Islam. So these merchants and migrants first brought the teachings of the Holy Quran to India in the 17th centuries. And the Quran is the holy book of Muslim communities, Islam religions. And in Islam also, that there were the two groups, two branches, Shia Muslims and Sunni Muslims. Actually, the Shia Muslim were the Muslim communities, people, those who believed that the Prophet Muhammad's son-in-law Ali was the legitimate leader of Muslim communities. Means they accepted the authority of Ali, and who was the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad. This is there. And the Sunni Muslims, they accepted the authority of early leader Khalifa. Yes, but in early times, the religious leader of Muslim community was known as Khalifa. The Sunni Muslim, they accepted the authority of Khalifa, means their religious leader, and Shia Muslim, they accepted the authority of Ali, who was the Muhammad's son-in-law. This there. Now second topic, thinking about time and historical periods. Yes, students, actually, but the time is not just passing of hours, days, or years for historians. Instead, it is the reflection of social, economic, cultural, and religious changes that occur through the ages. So the division of past into large segments or periods make it easy. Means when we divide the history into periods, so this division make it easy to study time for historians and for us also. So British historian in the middle of the 19th century divided the history of India into three periods. And first, this division was done by James Mill. He divided the Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. But this division was made on the basis of the fact that no significant changes other than the religion of the rulers could occur during this time period. Actually, this division, that it ignored the rich diversity of the subcontinent. This division was just based on the religions of the rulers. This is there. And so this division is not accepted in the society. The other division, which like few historians follow this type of this classification today, means other classification of history is like this: ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. Yes, students, by mistake here it is not written medieval period. Second period of the history is, that is medieval history. First is ancient, second is medieval, and third one is modern history. Yes, now we will discuss about it. Ancient history, it included a wide range of early societies, hunters, gatherers, early farmers. And about this history, ancient history, you have studied in your 6th standard, in which you studied different societies like early man, when he was hunter, gatherer, moved place to place, and the early farmers, and many civilizations also. Second type of history, second division of history is there, that is medieval history. Yes, now in your 7th standard, you will study about the medieval history, and it is the time period, you can say, the rise of imperial state information, the development of Hinduism and Islam as major religion. Means this is the time period when Muslims rulers ruled on India. The third type of history is there, that is modern history. And about this time period, this history you will study in your next class, miss in 8th standard. And this modern history refers to the time period when Britishers or miss English people came in India and ruled over it. This is there, and this time period is considered as the material time period of material progress and intellectual advancement. This is where, yes friends, so in this way our today's lecture and along with it our miss chapter is completed. So means what we have seen during these thousands years the society of the subcontinent were transformed often economy and several regions reached a level of prosperity that attracted the interest of European trading companies. Means the changes which occurred in economy, society, these things attracted the European trading company like Portuguese, French, Dutch into India for trading. This is there. Now note down homework. First question, how do historians divide the past into periods? Do they face any problem in doing so? What were some of the major religious developments during this period? What changes took place during 700 AD to 1750 AD? Fourth question, why did the Brahmins dominate in the Indian society during this period? Yes friends, then you have to do write the answer of these questions in your fair notebook. Now we will discuss the solutions of homework of lecture 3, in which one question, what does the term pan-regional empire mean? Pan-regional rule applies to the trend of extending the empire to the regions beyond one's own state. While the decline of the Mughal Empire in the 18th century, many regional states merged, means get together, mixed one each other. Consequently, a chance of sharing different tradition in the realms of the governance, economy, cultures and languages was brightened. Means when many regionals, you can say states, then they merged, means when they mixed to each other, then at that time there was a chance of sharing their culture, their traditions and means economics, everything. And so people knew a lot of new things, manner, etc. without losing their own culture and identity. What do you mean by Jati Panchayat? Yes, Jati Panchayat is the, you can say, was the assembly of the elders which controlled the conduct of the members of their Jati. What were the new groups of people to be prominent in this age, means medieval period? Rajput, Sikhs, Jat, Marathas, Ahom, Kayasth were the groups which came to be prominent in this age. What was the stretch of Delhi Sultan Ghiyasuddin Balban's empire? Yes, according to a Sanskrit Prashasti, Delhi Sultan Ghiyasuddin Balban's empire was stretched from Bengal in the east to Ghazni in the Afghanistan in the west. This is there, and it also included all the South India, which was known as Dravida. In what ways has the meaning of term Hindustan changed over the centuries? Actually this question already we have done, but as in our previous slide it was not visible clearly, that's why I am showing you again. So look at what do you mean by the Hindustan term, how it is changed over the centuries. It has been observed that language and its interpretation changes with the change of time. Means with the passage of time, the meaning of the words and language interpretation also get changed. The term Hindustan was used for the first time in Nazi Shiraj in 13th century, and he used the term to mean the area of Punjab, Haryana, land between Ganga and Yamuna. It was used in a political sense for land constituting a part of the dominions of the Delhi Sultan. Through the terms shifted with the extent part of Sultanate, but it never included South India. The remarkable point is that while the idea in geographical and cultural entity like India did exist, the term Hindustan not carry the political and national meaning that we associate with it today. Means today the Hindustan term is used for the whole nation, means for whole India, but Minachi Shiraz it used for as a used in a political sense, and in which only the area of Punjab, Haryana and the land between Ganga and Yamuna was included. Northeastern and southern part was not included. But today the Hindustan word is used for the whole nation. So in this way the meaning of the term Hindustan get changed over the time or with the passage of time. Yes friends, thank you. In this way our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the summary of the chapter. Thank you.